Well, hello and welcome. This is the Digital Office at Home podcast. I'm Marian LaSalle, my co-host Gail Kendig, and our wonderful new guest, Chris Severs. Chris, that's not right. It's Chris Severs. Hi, Chris. Hi, Gail.
Hi.
Hi, gang. How is everybody today?
Oh, we're in a gang. Did you hear that,
This
Chris?
is our gang.
Yes,
This
the
is our
gang.
I like a gang.
our
Yeah, yeah.
tribe. It's
Yes,
our tribe.
We're a
tribe.
tribe. I like tribe too. Well, today we are, of course, talking about how you can join us in the working at home digital space, whether you're working a job or you're trying to get out of a job and go home, or you're working from home. It doesn't matter if you have a job or if you are the boss, it doesn't really matter as long as you are free. That's what we want. We want you to be able to be free. We want you to be able to, yes, to make your own way in life. Okay. And so whether or not you're working toward that or you're already there, you're in the right place.
Yes, I agree.
And Gail is really happy that she works from home because she has, how many feet of snow do you have outside right now, Gail?
I don't know about feet. I don't know. We did lose a lot overnight. Well, we got a little dusting, but the day before we lost a lot of it, which was good. Then we got a little dusting. So we're I don't think we're in defeat yet.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, that's good. And
Yeah.
Chris, you support a lot of people. Since you're a coach, you support a lot of people who are either working from home or want to. Is that true?
Yes, that
Uh-huh.
is one of my niches that I am helping people that are trying to make that transition and then have made that transition, but have that fear. What do I do now? Or where do I turn? So definitely I assist those people in making some decisions, making some changes in the thought process.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, there you go. There's the mindset stuff going on.
Take the girdle off their brain. You help them take the girdle
There
off
you
their brain.
go. Oh, I like that
Thank
term.
you.
I
You
do
can use
too.
I
that.
Use
love
that.
that.
Yes. Gail is great at coming up with whatever you say and then making it into something. So the last guest we had on, he does CNC and routers and all these things, and 3D printings. And she had an arrow all set up for him that he's going
Oh,
to
yeah.
create. And I mean, she's good.
Well,
Okay,
that
that's
was
great.
great because
Awesome.
his father told him that he was really great at a lot of things, and he was like a machine gun where everything is like got bullets all over, right? He said, but you need to be an arrow and get targeted. So then I said that could be a branding thing for him, like a
There you
you know.
go.
So I kind
Yeah.
of went off on that a little bit. When I get a
I
little
love it.
thought, I try to help
I
people with
love it.
ideas. They're
I
just
love it.
ideas.
And
Sometimes
speaking
that's the
of
best.
Gail and her ideas, she has this really cool book that I love to promote. It's called The $1,000,000 Personality. You can get it on Amazon. You can either purchase it or you can get it for free on Kindle. And it's not about Gail's personality being $1,000,000, although it is. Okay, the book is not about that. Tell us what the book is about.
Well, when I started reading for the 10th time, Think and Grow Rich, they talked about Charles Schwab, who he got $1 million bonus from his boss, Carnegie, in the steel industry because he was so instrumental in having the community of workers get along and be happy in the most dreadful time of life in the steel industry. And he continuously, not just $1 million bonus, but multiple $1 million bonuses. And even his base pay was $75K, which back in the 1930s was like, you're already a millionaire, you think. So, but he had these aha moments and things like that where he did things and people wanted him for his personality. He was just that kind of guy. And that's kind of like happened to me. So I'm reading, I'm like, wait a minute, that happened to me. Wait a minute, that happened. Like when he went to work for 20 years and didn't get paid from Carnegie, he says, I'm not going to pay you, but would you like to do it? And he goes, oh, sure, sign me up. But I went to work one time for a couple of weeks with this guy. He says, I don't know if you like me. If I like you, I'll work for free. So of course he's going to hire me, right? He says, come on down. And I thought at the time, there were so many of those moments in the book. I says, I should just write my own book. So that's what I did.
Well, I love it. It's a wonderful opportunity for you to go over to gailkendig.com and check her out, because I fell in love. The minute I met Gail, I knew that there was something special about this woman. So that's why she's our co-host, and because she brings a lot to the table.
Well, it's
Thank
very
you,
kind of you to say that, Marian. But like Chris, I think we're very like-minded too, because I kind of consider myself a coach. I am a coach. I honestly have never had training, but I've been in the business world and been coaching for years. So I kind of have been in training because I've been forced to learn about personalities and that kind of thing. I went to a networking event one time, and the lady, I was telling her about personalities. She goes, "Oh my gosh!" She was so excited. She goes, "Oh, you're a psychic." I says, "No, I'm not."
Oh.
And she tells her husband, "I want to sit
that's
with
funny.
her because she's a psychic." And I'm like, "I am not a psychic." And because I said, "You have this kind of outfit on." I says, "You're very personable. You're the life of the party. People love you." She says, "Oh my God!" She just fell in love with me. I'm like, so it's that my life has been like that for like 100 years. So
that's great.
But I'm like Chris. Chris and we're coaches.
Yes.
But he's got real official training.
He's got official training. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. And I like the training he does. I was introduced to it at the Unity Church. They had lots of classes, and the woman that does the training for that Chris went through did a class on I forget the name of it, but that's where I met you, right, Chris?
Prosperity Plus.
Prosperity Plus. That's it.
That's that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what was that? Different businesses,
it was just a class where I met him, but the same instructor has a coaching class or a coaching certification. Tell us about that.
A certification.
Chris. Yeah.
It's the Life Mastery Institute by Mary Morrissey.
Mary Morrissey, that's it.
She studied these principles for over 40 years, and she codified the Dream Builder program, and that's one of the programs that I teach and coach people by. And she codified all these principles and how to apply them in your life.
That's cool.
To transform your results. And so the Prosperity Plus was one of her initial programs that she had created to start teaching this work in the world. And
that's a great idea.
It's fabulous information. You learn a lot. And it is said all the time that the principles are very simple. But I was talking to a friend of mine just this morning, and I'm like, well, that is just so simple, but yet it's so hard to do.
Yep.
And the simplicity is what is, you get it in your mind. Oh, well, I know that.
The principle, right.
The principle, but are you applying it the way it's meant to be applied?
Exactly. It's hard to apply. It's hard to apply.
That it is very much hard to apply. That's right.
Because I think that's almost like what our community is. Mary and I are associated with a stay-at-home business kind of thing, a digital business, and they're very principle centered. And it is all about love. Like the bottom line is about love. So we have to know, how do you do this, and how do you become this, and how do you become that? Our greatest teachers are the people that are unlovable. Now that's your training ground. That's your training ground. So when you have difficult people and you can turn that into love and to accept that is where training ground. So that's what I try to help people understand, which is what it sounds like you guys are doing. I love that.
Yeah. The Dalai Lama has a term for it. They are our sacred friend.
Yeah, very nice.
Friends are easy to love. Sacred friends expand your heart.
Yeah. It's a training ground because you have to think, you have to change, you have to transform to say, they're still human. We don't know what they're going through in life. Let me just not be offended by them. Let me not be hurt by them because I don't know. I'm just going to accept it,
And I have a story for that.
We're ready.
I am aggressive driver, or I've been aggressive driver up until now. And Houston was very
up until now. Did you catch that?
Houston has been challenging for me, shall we say. But the other day, or it's been a few months ago, I had this, I was learning some new things in this program that I'm in. And one of the things was I was driving down the road and a lady was kind of right beside me. And she just had this scared look on her face. And it kind of hit me. It's like, I don't know what she's going through. So let me be easy around her. Let me give her her space. She may have had a death in the family. She may have a sick child in the hospital that she's going to go see. I don't know her story, but do I really need to know it in order to show her compassion?
Right.
And that really, really hit me.
Yeah.
And now that every time I get on the road, that kind of comes into my mind. Now, do I adhere to it every day, all the time? No, I'm still human.
But you're working on it.
But it's a work in progress.
It's a wake-up call, like, I can do this.
Exactly. And it has made a world of difference in my attitude in driving and getting from point A to point B without getting to B and being so frazzled that I can't even enjoy who I'm going to meet. It is a different thought process for me to drive now.
Yeah, I think that's so awesome because that happened to me this year. Well, in 2023, that happened to me. That aha moment that for anybody, if you think you are golden, you're doing great in life, get them behind the wheel of a car. Let's see where their spirit really is.
Exactly.
And
like they say, if you squeeze an orange, what's going to come out?
Yes, exactly. I love that analogy. That was a Stephen Covey thing, and I love that analogy. I've used that before with this. What comes out? We do it with the Christian because I go to church, and I was like, as a Christian, what comes out? I was like, ruh-roh.
Exactly.
So yeah,
that is something I have to practice every day. Get up and here's what I want my insides to be today.
Yeah,
and I have to make a decision in the morning for me to be
that person.
XYZ today.
Become the person you want to be. And that is so great. I think that you have so much to offer the world, and we need more Chris Seifers, right? We need more of you. So that's what your role is to sprinkle your knowledge and then have everybody go out and then I guess save more
I can see that.
Save more starfish. The Seaver starfish.
Sprinkling the fairy dust around.
I can see it. Yeah.
We need to have more of you.
Thank you.
I
I do consider it a calling.
Yes.
I've always been of service my whole life.
Yeah.
But the focus of my service was just helping somebody to get through what they're getting through. But now that I have, been certified as a life mastery consultant, life coach, it is not just about helping them for right now. I'm giving them tools. They're transforming their lives for the future. It's tools they can use over and over in any part of their life.
Right. And then duplicate themselves as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Chris, I would love it if you could tell us a real life story, something that you pull out of your memory banks of somebody that you've helped. And it could be anything. It could be funny. It could be serious. Just tell us a story because we love stories around here.
Yeah.
Well, and there's one that comes to mind most every time I'm asked for it. This one pops to mind. And this is just a few months ago. A lady come to me and she was depressed. She felt stuck and scared. She's a lady that's in her 70s. She's on a fixed income. She had just had bathroom breakdowns and stuff, and her bathroom was all torn to shreds and didn't know how she was going to pay for it. Literally scared to death. I don't know what I'm going to do. And I'm like, well, what would you love? And when people are in that space of fright and just depression, really, it's hard to think, what would I love? But once we started talking about it, she kind of come out of that
Yeah.
little depression and that fearful thought. And she started writing down a dream. And I said, okay, continue on that and send that to me in 3 days. Well, when I got it, there was like a 3-page dream here. I'm like, well, go girl. So we're starting the program, and she's very apprehensive of the program. She said, I've tried so many different help programs and read books. Nothing has worked. I said, well, let's give it a try. I said, be open to the possibility. You don't know how to do it all, and you don't have to. Just be open to the process. And she agreed to that. And in the beginning, it's like, well, what do you do for a hobby? Well, I paint and I make jewelry. I'm like, oh, do you sell this? Oh, no, I could never do that. I'm not good enough.
Right.
I'm like, okay. She said, I just do it for family and, close friends, for gifts. I'm like, okay. So we go on. And it was probably about the 5th week of the program. I said, so how's your painting doing? She said, you're never going to believe it. She said, I got a call just yesterday from a friend of a friend that had seen one of my paintings. And she asked me to be a part of her art show.
Oh my goodness.
I'm
How
like,
cool.
and when is this art show? She said, oh, well, I can't do it.
I can't do it.
I'm like, why? She said, I'm not good enough. What if no one
Oh.
likes it?
What if?
Oh,
I'm like, come on. Somebody saw it, liked it, and recommended it. I said, what if you would take some art, go to this show, and just see what happens? Well, she thought for a little bit, and you could hear the not good enough turning in her voice. I'm like, put that aside because you do this out of love. And when you create a piece, you've put your love and your passion to it. Do you not think that someone could see that and feel that
feel it.
when they see this piece?
Feel it.
And she's like, well, I can try. Well, she agreed to do it, and she was there with 40 other vendors and artists. She was feeling all kinds of, not good enough, but she went and she had a blast.
How fun.
Not only did she have fun, she sold over $700
Wow.
worth of art and jewelry that day.
Fantastic.
And at that show, at the end of the day, another person came up to her and commissioned her to do a piece that was going to double what she just made.
Wow, isn't that fabulous?
So she went from not good enough and feeling stuck and scared financially on a fixed income to now realizing I have right within my hands money. Somebody liked what I did. And it gave her a boost of confidence. And she was invited then to another show and did equally as well. And I talked to her just the other day, and she is absolutely having the time of her life. She said, life is grand. And when I can take someone, and again, I'm just the person kind of guiding them. They already had this within them. But when I can take them from scared, depressed, not good enough, to life is grand, I love my job.
You did your job.
I love my job.
Well, that's the same. I so can appreciate it because it is their calling. That's their calling. And they knew that they kind of know that. But again, they don't have the confidence. I love when you said stuck, scared, success, those 3 S's. So you kind of got to get to those points to get the 3 S's.
Right.
And I love that what I see when that aha moment that she had, like, oh my gosh, this is what I love to do. She probably is going to never forget you. But also that is when someone's in their glory. I say, even a flower, even the flower is created. Each flower, I'm just using that as an analogy, but everything that is in creation has a purpose. And
Exactly.
even a flower attracts a certain bug, a
Mhm.
certain insect. And they're not all, they don't attract them all, but there are certain flowers that attract certain bugs. And that's to
Yep.
that, they're in their glory. They're
Exactly.
using their purpose. And that's a simple way of saying that. But anytime anybody has that transformation that you're helping them with, they're in their glory. And that's what that means. When a bird is soaring, look at that eagle. It's in its glory. It's doing what it's
Right.
supposed to do. And it's so happy and gliding like nothing. When we're in our glory, we're not stressed. We are so
Exactly.
happy, and we get so excited. It makes ourselves get goosebumps. You get so happy.
Exactly.
It's like my liver. Am I really pinch me? Because I didn't know I could be this happy. Now you're
Exactly.
in your glory.
Yep.
Oh,
Love that. That was a great story.
I love that. Thank
well,
you.
I love it. It all started with Chris asking, "What would you love?
What would you
What
love?
would you love?
What would you love? Not
What's
what
your
would you
hobby?
like? Well, what do you want to do? No, what would you love?" I love that. Thank
Yeah.
you, Chris. That was a
You're
beautiful
very
story.
welcome. Thank you.
Oh my goodness. This to me is such a terrific time to be together. The three souls, our three souls together, just kind of merging together, feeling loved, feeling loving.
Mhm.
It's totally different than anything else I have ever experienced.
Really?
And so I want to thank you both for being here today and just just feeling the love with me. It's
Feeling the
beautiful.
love.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. It's just
Yeah.
talking to human to human, and finding out what they love. Chris
Right.
loves what he does, and it shows, and he glows. Just made that one up too.
I like it. I like it.
As
Got
they
a million
say,
of them.
you were a poet and didn't even know it.
Exactly.
It's one of those days I'm on a roll. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, Chris, what do you have coming up? Anything special like I don't know, a promotion or what's going on?
I do have a workshop coming
I
up next
knew it.
month.
I knew it.
So do you do a lot locally? How do you get involved, Chris, in doing these like you're going to be talking about? How would you help tell other people how they can do things that you're going to be talking about?
You mean to become a coach?
Not a
Or
coach, but you're going to have a workshop. So
workshop.
what would they tell them how to help? Like if I want a workshop, tell me where I would start.
Well, you would go to my website at www.dreamsandbloomllc.com. And on there, you can book a session with me. And on my website, you will see my workshops that are coming up. So if you're wanting to, say somebody doesn't know me very well and they kind of want to get, kind of a feel of who Chris is, come to a workshop and you're going to see Chris, and you're going to know right away whether you would want to work with me or not. My workshops are very informative, very instructional, and I like to make them fun. A friend of mine and I were talking about life is meant to be fun. It's not all serious.
Are these on Zoom
business.
or in person or both?
This is on Zoom. I can do in-persons. I typically will have someone, contact me. Well, can you come in and do like a lunch and learn or like a 1 hour workshop? I can do that in person. But typically that's, people inviting me to, come to their place and do that. I've only done one of those on my own, and those are a little more hard to get people into, but it's doable.
Do you do any corporate work?
That is what I'm trying to expand in right now. I'm contacting different companies and trying to do. I'm just starting out like little lunch and learns, maybe 20, 30 minutes kind of thing, so they can kind of get a feel. But I find with those, people are so busy that it's hard for them in that short amount of time to get the full benefit. But it's planting a seed. Yeah. And they're like, okay, I like that person. I'd like to hear more. So I'm just hoping that, we can, engage a little more with them and increase it to maybe an hour workshop at minimum. That's, what I find as the kind of the sweet spot. And then, if they want something more, I can do like a half day, or a full day workshop as well.
Yeah, I have something. I'm sorry to interrupt there, Gail.
Yeah.
So I've been in marketing for years and years and years, and one of the coolest things I think I've ever done was develop a lunch with your doctor. We filled the room. Okay, it wasn't their doctor; it was just a doctor that wanted me to help him with his marketing. But we created these postcards, and we went all out and invited as many people as we possibly could. We got a sponsor to pay for all the lunches. They were catered in, boxed lunches from like Jason's Deli type of thing, and then we had the sponsor pay for drinks and dessert and that type of thing. And I'm telling you, it was fantastic. So maybe lunch with your coach.
Well, lunch with your coach. I'm going to have to think about that.
I know.
That's a good idea. I like that.
What I was thinking, Chris, is for corporate, the fine line when you're with a corporation, from my experience, is just like, you got to be careful. For me, because I'm so excited, I don't want people to I want them to be excited about their dreams, not too excited that they want to quit. Yet, don't let the boss know this, right? So you have to design a talk where it's like, listen, if you become this person at work, you are going to be more marketable for the next, increase,
exactly,
the next step up. You got to, your career. But in the other thing, and you're still talking to the same audience, you're like, but to be the happiest, you got your side, hustle, not a hustle. Don't call it a hustle, right? Your hobby. You've got your hobby, because if you're doing your hobby, you're a happy person. Now you bring that happy person to work. They're all basically, that's been my life too, because I'm the person that I go to if there's a problem. Everybody comes to me. I'm solving problems. I'm coaching people. I'm helping them with their personal problems. This is all at work. I've worked in corporations all my life, but I never really felt like it because I was in my calling for every single job. But if you present in that way, watching how you present it, you're getting a happier employee. Those employers were going to call on you more. They're going to say, you got to call this Chris guy because my employees are so happy. I'm getting more work out of them. They're getting along better to each other. You're waking up those day-to-day brain ways, those brain thoughts that have had them stuck, and now I could try that. I'll try to be a better employee, and kind of thing. I guess I don't know if I made the point, but
you did very much so. And you're right. It is not about having that employee leave that company. A colleague of mine went into a real estate broker and did one of these. They seen their sales increase, like, I don't remember the exact number, but it was like quadruple sales. And it's like, the owner's like, well, what did y'all do? Well, we just had a meeting and we had this coach come in and give us some ideas. He's like, let's keep them coming.
Exactly, because it's more money in their pocket too.
Exactly.
Yeah, it is really amazing.
It is. And it's all about the mindset.
Yeah, and how you present it.
How you present it, and getting people engaged and being open to possibilities.
Absolutely.
Anything is possible. You just have to be open to it.
The other thing is marketing dollars. If they don't use them, they lose them. So corporations, they need to find people like you. So, send your information, your little brochures or a folder or something. I can help your employees be more functional, or, be more, whatever. Go into AI and figure that one out. They'll help you. But I mean, that would be great. And you'll be paid probably triple, because they pay a lot better,
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. That's
awesome.
Right. Well, I want to thank everybody for joining us today. It has just flown by. I just get so excited, that I look up and it's like, oh my God, it's been 30 minutes already. Well, I could just talk for hours. Thank you so much, Chris. Thank you so much, Gail. I appreciate
you guys. I loved it.
Yeah.
I get so excited.
I know. And she's got great ideas for you too. Maybe you guys better hook up, huh? There you go.
Right.
That's funny.
I love it.
So I do want to play a video. It's a short video. I know you've both seen it before, but maybe the people that are watching us on YouTube or they're listening to us on the podcast haven't heard it.
They need to see it.
I was just thinking, if they're listening to this, if you are listening to this and you want to see the video, please go over to our YouTube channel. It's Digital Office at Home on YouTube and on all your podcast apps. So we're getting ready to head out. Thank you again, Chris. You'll come back and see us.
Yes, I'd love to. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. Thanks, Marian. You're beautiful. Well, you're beautiful too.
How do you make dreams come true?
It takes faith to make your dreams come true. Life has something special right here for you. Everything has a season, a reason to grow. So don't be discouraged by your obstacles. No. Never give up your right to be happy. Never give up. Be all you are meant to be. Things will always come to get us down, and it only gets worse when we start to frown. Let's keep hope alive in our hearts. Smile with gratitude, that's when the magic starts. Never give up your right to be happy. Never give up. Be all you are meant to be. Never give up your right to be happy. Never give up.